appreciate you coming on the PC pod, all the way from, you're in Vegas, aren't you?
I'm in Vegas.
Appreciate you for joining, man, taking time out of your day. I know you're a
Yeah,
pretty
man.
busy guy.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
Cool. So I run a Discord of now about 70,000 members. I teach them how to invest and trade in the stock market, particularly momentum penny stock trading. And then from there, I have a pretty solid team of real estate investors. I gotta let you know, we have about 5 units, not 500. So we're getting there. But then I just kind of showcase how I'm building my real estate portfolio. You're not
How
in your
old
new
are you?
studio. 20.
Man, you're young.
Yeah, I get that.
You got a cool studio behind you. Looks good.
Yeah, thanks. It's not quite 100,000, but it'll work. $200
You know,
pallets from Home Depot and a old TV works.
how'd you get a 70,000 Discord? That's huge.
So started with just four of us. I don't know, man, just focused on content. And then with the growth of my TikTok, getting up to about 230,000 followers, it saw immense growth. And I just provided a ton of free value within the Discord and incentivized kids to invite other people. And then 4 kids became 400, became 4,000, became 70,000.
That's awesome, dude. So they're all younger, sounds like.
Generally speaking, yep.
Go.
All in the younger, more generation type, which it's pretty cool to work with them because they don't know anything really about investing. So it's kind of like a clean slate, which is really cool. But a lot of times they're generally the ones that don't have money to really make money. So it can be troublesome sometimes. Anywho, enough about me, man. So those of you guys who don't know Ryan, he's owner of 7. Is it still 7 or is it 8 now? 7 to 8 figure businesses.
Yeah, I think depending on how you chop it up, there might be 8, but yeah, there's a lot.
7, maybe 8 to 7 to 8 figure businesses. So he's doing pretty well. Over 500 units, has helped a lot of kids in a lot of spaces. Me, and particularly helping me with not just my entrepreneurial journey, but my Christian walk as well. Being able to bring that out of me, seeing the wealthy way. And I believe W is worship, right?
Yep.
So that's one thing that's really helped me. Really excited to get you on the podcast, man. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Because not only have I had a really good span of investors on this, but a lot of Christian investors, which in my opinion is way cooler because share the same values, have a lot of the similar roadblocks,
ideas and struggles.
That's what I'm looking for.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's also
all about.
really cool. And the coolest thing is I used to love watching your videos when you got on YouTube. On my favorite ones were when you would try other side hustles to see how they work. One that comes to mind is you tried to rent your Model X on Turo, right? Was that one of them?
Yep.
So,
yep.
That was
a
cool
good video.
Bunch of other good ones. Flipping stuff. You've tried, I think, flipping pallets. I know you've done a ton of couch flipping. That's kind of how you got your first 100,000, would you say? Or is that?
Yeah. That was my first business success for sure.
So that helped motivate my friends and I to go on Facebook. We flipped cars. We flipped furniture. One of our best ROIs was basketball hoops from the YMCA. Like we did everything. So it's really cool to have you on the podcast, from watching your videos and waiting for you to post to being able to talk to you, man. I really appreciate you coming on here and taking some time for us.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Well, my man, why don't you talk to us about what's new, what you've been working on? Throw in some Tykes NFTs in there because my guys are all about crypto. I'm sure they want to hear about it. And then maybe care to go on to really what you've been working on the last month or so.
Yeah, we definitely need to get your guys on Tykes NFT. For those who don't know what it is, I launched it late August. We hit number 1 on OpenSea out of all NFTs in the world. So that was exciting. It's done really well. I mean, look, I'm not a guy who's like just all about floor price. I'm about the utility and what we're doing, but it's killed it since launch. And we've got our Tykes Summit coming up here January 9th through the 12th, which is going to be the biggest ever crypto real estate event. I think we're gonna have over 1,000 people there. It's going to be great. And I'm just trying to change the world with crypto and real estate. I think that is the big play in the future. Crypto, just like everything else, is just getting killed with everything going on in the country. And it is what it is. But I think in the long haul, it's going to be massive. And so everything I'm building in there is geared towards the future. We've built our own cryptocurrency called Tycoin, which, if you stake your Tyke, you get it. You can then use it on our marketplace where you can get like my courses and events and products. Our members are able to post their own products and services.
Awesome.
You can stay at Airbnbs of the members. We call them Tyke shares. The members are also going to be able to propose ideas and businesses and joint ventures and partnerships. And you're going to be able to buy into those. And eventually, long haul, we want to be able to buy real estate with Tycoin and buy into businesses with Tycoin. So, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, you got a big Discord community, so you already know, like, the community is important. All the trainings every week are important. So Tykes is, man, I mean, it's only been a little over 2 months, and I think we've done more in 2 months than pretty much 99% of projects do, period.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. I was following it closely, and one of my employees scooped one up. And wasn't the floor price like $400 or mint price $400 or something like that?
Yep, $500 was the mint. Yep,
that's wild. So almost a 10x from one point from floor to mint, right?
Yep.
That's insane, man. Yeah, he tried to get me on it. I just have never done any NFTs. I try to just stay in my own lane, do what I'm good at, not branch off, because I did that at one point into supplement business and it just didn't go well for me. So I'm like, I'm just stay what I'm good at. I don't want to, go to the next shiny object. But then he just 10x'd it, man. Like, are you kidding me? And
hey, it's not too late, dude. It's not too late.
Okay, awesome. And a quick question on the Tycoin, is it the Tykes marketplace, or what's like kind of that word? Do you have a word for it? Like to purchase stuff with your Tycoin?
To purchase it, I mean, so if you just go to tykes.io, you can see our website, but the marketplace is just one feature of the website. And we just launched the marketplace last week, and so we're slowly launching the products, because I don't want to just flood it with like all these products and people are confused. Like, my goal is, when I get really big people on, I want to give them their spotlight and everything else. We just had a bunch of people join the Tykes boardroom. I've got a lot of influencers and, big investors. Like, my buddy Pace Morby just got into the boardroom last
20
week.
Of them or something like that.
Yeah, to get in the boardroom, you got to have 20 Tykes. And so it's definitely exclusive. Rob Built, the host of the Bigger Pockets podcast, he just got in the boardroom, and he's got a big YouTube channel. And so Kong, for anyone who follows him on Twitter, or not Twitter, TikTok and stuff. So we got a lot of big players. Yeah, he's a wholesaler, house flipper.
Yep. Cool. Well, man, hey, shoot me all the information. If maybe if I could look into it, it'd be great.
Yeah, we got to get you in, dude.
Dude, I'd love to. Maybe sell some PC stuff on there, some one-on-one lessons, stuff like that.
No, I mean, that's honestly what it's all about. I want people like you and whoever else to have an audience to buy your products and services, and to become aware of who you are, for those who don't know who you are. I mean, there's a lot of people in Tykes who are interested in trading, but I don't trade. I don't know what to do. Right.
Huge opportunity there. Plus, not to mention, the great thing about having a higher floor price is, generally the clientele you're working with generally has money to invest, because, one of the roadblocks we run in with our students is, yes, it's great to learn and invest, but even 100% gain on $10 is $10. You need money to make money. So that's something I, definitely, if I get some more info on it, it'd be great to look into it. And I got to get a Tyke, man. It's crazy that my buddy was trying to get me to do it, and I just was so focused on not doing it. Like, this thing's 10x. Like, gotta be kidding me with that. But,
yeah, no, your buddy's smart. He should have bought 20, but it's all good.
Yeah, he should have. I should have bought 20.
Yep. No, it's good. I didn't announce that 20 was the boardroom before, because I wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity to get one. And then after, I was like, hey, here's the deal. If you guys want to go buy them up after market, here's what it is. And yeah, there's a whole lot coming too. I mean, the reason I say that is like literally there's so much more coming, and the ability to just earn Tycoin passively is a very big deal. And for Tycoin to actually have use case, not just be like a Ponzi coin, like all these other things. There's a lot that's making it very cool.
So how did it go? Did you just go to bed when Mint opened and then just wake up to seeing that guys were reselling them for 4,000 or 5,000, or was it gradual, or is it more of like an instant? How did that work?
No, it was I think it took like a week to reach our peak. And we're continuing to just the crypto market's always changing things, right? So it goes here, goes there, and then but I think in the long haul it's going to be very good, way better than people think, because well, I'll say two things. For the Mint, we had already sold out, so I pre-sold all the tykes before we minted. I sold them at my events, to social media following, to my clients, everything. And they all bought tykes. And so they had first priority. And so when we minted, they basically were minting something they had already paid for. And, it's funny. I remember watching the mint because I'd never minted an NFT, but you see people selling them for like $600-700. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, what's the point of trying to go make $100? Like, it's so stupid.
Right. And what are you really risking?
Yeah, like it's just dumb. But people were doing it, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And then
your employees, was it your employees and friends doing it?
No, it wasn't them, but like just normal people. They're not dumb. So eventually they kept doing it, and then finally, as we released new things, people started to realize, oh crap, like I shouldn't be selling this.
Can I have that back?
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, sell whatever, you're an idiot. And so whatever, we would do it, and then we just kept releasing more things and more things. And that's what kept driving the price up. And now the interesting thing is, in order to get Tycoin, you have to stake your tyke. And so they're all staked for the majority of tykes are staked for 365 days. So literally they're locked up. Nobody can sell them. So the amount of tykes that are actually available is less than like 2% of the entire supply. Like literally you can't even buy them, let alone list it. It's like crazy. But that's where it's at.
That's going to shoot value way up.
Oh,
that's awesome, man. That's cool.
Yep.
Dude, so how many of you will scoop 20 if less than 2% are out, man?
No, I'm serious. Like that's honestly going to be the problem, because there's only like, I want to say there's 50 or 60 available on OpenSea. That's it. And like, I don't foresee, because we can see the on-chain statistics of like who's staked, who's not. And so actually, I want to say there's like, I don't know, 6% that are actually unstaked and, could potentially be sold. The other, whatever, that they literally can't be sold. And so 2% of the total supply is on OpenSea. And I think that that's going to get eaten up here in the near future. So yeah, people won't even be able to get in the boardroom, even if they tried. That's
wild, man. So it's not like a real estate thing where I can buy the value of the contract from that person.
I mean, you could go buy their wallet, if you wanted to go, but what else
is that a legal route?
Well, I mean, you would like give them your passcode, your private keys, which you never want to do in crypto, but that would probably be the only way, I would think.
Huh. So that's cool, man. I have to look up into it. Anywho, so your wife Mindy runs a mastermind, right? I'm just doing this for my 2.5% of female audience that listens to me. 2.5%. She runs a female run mastermind, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's more passive in that. Heather Blankenship, my partner in that, she's the main one. So she's running the day-to-day. She's on the majority of the calls. Mindy shows up on calls here or there, just like, I talk about it here or there. But yeah, the mastermind's amazing. I mean, that's been a very fast growing company. That'll be a 7-figure company here in the near future. We just launched it about 4 months ago.
Hmm.
and it's consistently doing 6 figures a month already.
Wow.
And it's just it fits a need in the market. There's just not women's masterminds out there for entrepreneurs.
No,
And
no, there's not. I've never even heard of one.
exactly, it just doesn't exist. And so we decided to do it. And Heather told me a crazy statistic. I think we already got like 100 girls in there, and 30 of them are making over $1 million a year. And so it's definitely elite for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Now do you have your own mastermind outside of Tyke, or really, I know you do your golf with Ryan, but that's more of like a one-on-one type. Is Tyke kind of your mastermind, if you will? Because I haven't seen anything like like a actual mastermind outside of Tyke.
I mean, we have our Future Flipper mastermind. So we have high level coaching programs at Future Flipper for real estate investing. And, we have our events, and, this Tykes Summit in January is kind of a co-event with Future Flipper and Tykes. The way I look at it is Future Flipper is, real estate education for today, how to make money today in this market right now. Tykes is about the future of real estate, how to be prepared for what's coming and build for the future. But they're both intertwined, right? Because you're always thinking, okay, well, where is the future going? So we talk about those things in Future Flipper. And then Tykes is like, hey, we want to also help you make money today. So, here's some ways that could happen, but
Yeah.
they have their focuses. So yeah, Future Flipper's been my baby. We've got thousands of students in there. And just with I've started just multiple ways that, depending on what it is you're interested in, to kind of have a community of people around you in that. The golf with Ryan's an interesting one that kind of started out as a joke.
Yeah.
And that ended up being like a really big thing. I started golfing last year. I got super into it. And I just started thinking one day at the course, I'm like, man, it would be really cool not to golf with me. I wasn't thinking like that, but I was like,
That'd
I
be
would,
really cool to golf with me.
it would be so cool to golf with me. No, I was thinking like, it would be cool if I could golf with these big guys. What if I could golf with Elon or Grant Cardone or Jeff Bezos or like whatever? And I started to think, I'd be like, I'd pay a lot of money for that. That would be so cool. Cause I was just golfing by myself. And I'm like, man, if I could golf with them, that'd be fun. And then I started to think, well, how many people feel that way about me? Because none of those guys golf, but I do. And people DM me all the time, like, dude, I want to golf with you. And I just never thought anything of it. And sure enough, I was like, you know what? Let me just test this out. Because like, what would I pay to golf with me? Like if I was, one of my students or followers or whatever, right? Like I know what they pay to get coaching and stuff. How much would you pay for like a super personal experience?
Right.
And so I just put it up there and I was like, I don't know if this is like people even want to do this or not, but if you want to do it, it's $2,500. It's 5 hours. We're going to golf. We're going to have lunch. It's going to be sweet. And I just made it, to me, I was like, this is a no brainer. People should buy this based on what I know they pay for other things. And then, yeah, sure enough, like 20 people bought it that first day from it one Instagram story. And I was like, wow, like people really want to do this. And so, I had to raise the prices because literally I was booked out for golf for like for months.
Yeah.
And, it's just kind of been that way, very casual for the last year. I have not promoted it very often. Like literally the only promotion that I do for it is when I just did it.
Yeah.
Like I just did it. And I'm like, if you guys want this too, here it is. But I don't ever talk about it any other time. And yeah, I mean, in over a year, it's made almost 300 grand.
That's wild. How, let me ask you this. How often does said person beat you?
Very rarely, but I have, well, we're not like keeping score, like at the end of the day, most of them suck. And so it's all good.
You're not keeping score? I find that hard to believe.
Well, the problem is I don't keep score. Golf's one of those things where you can just go out and enjoy it and you don't have to be super competitive with it. And then there are times where, you're going to compete and because you're playing in that nature. But whenever I do these golf with Ryan days, I don't ever compete, mainly because I can't. I'm so busy talking to them and like advising them and like trying to wrap my mind around their situation and how I can help them out and give them value, that I can't also just be into the game and like focus
Right.
on every
Yeah.
single putt and
True.
drive.
True.
So I always know I'm gonna like not play great because I'm just not focused on that.
Right. I was saying because you could do a guarantee if if you beat me, you get such and such return, but you might have to wait a few more years to throw that guarantee around.
No, I could beat 99% of the people I play with, but there are a couple of people I've played with that are good.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have
Yeah.
to book it sometime. I just got into golf this year. I really do think, and I don't know if you can see the numbers on golf courses around you, but I do honestly think like this generation's really picking up on golf. I mean, I feel like this last 2 years, I don't know if it's from COVID or what changed it, but I feel like there's more golfers now, like a massive tide of new golfers coming in. All of my friends and I just started this year.
Yep. No, it's true. Golf is having a huge resurgence. So is pickleball.
Well, um, I guess talk to me about the newest things. We talked about stuff that you've worked on earlier this year, one being Tykes and August, July range. And you said you launched the golf with Ryan earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yep.
so now quarter 4, where are you at with I know you just launched Content Empire, you're writing a new book. Um What's just talk to me there. What's new? What's new?
What's funny is people like always assume I'm working on like just something super new. And I'm like, dude, how many businesses do I gotta own? Like, you know,
Yeah.
can't I just continue to just do what I do, the normal, like whatever I got? But people have come to, I guess, expect that. Like, okay, like what are you working on now? There's gotta be something new you're doing.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I mean Content Empire, we just launched last week and it was great. That it's been amazing teaching people how to make content and drive traffic to their business. For those who don't know what it is, basically the mission statement is we want to help entrepreneurs build their personal brand and drive traffic to their biz. Because I just believe content's the future. Actually, it's not even the future, like it's now,
Yeah.
and it's going to continue to be the future. So Content Empire, we're doing that. And like I said, I mean, we already got like over 150 students in that, and it's just been really good. So we got that, and then Wealthy Way book. So that's something that I've been really passionate about. For those who don't know, I mean, you alluded to it earlier. I, have put my faith out there as a Christian, very often, and the way that I run my business and kind of my lifestyle is based on faith and how I think that you should be living it. I don't think that everyone should just constantly work on business 24/7. I think that what happens with most entrepreneurs is that they go all in too hard on business and then it leaves them bankrupt in other areas of life. And so, you're 20, so, you don't have a lot of the issues that some of these other entrepreneurs have, but, you got a wife and kids and,
I do
all of a
have wife
sudden
and kid.
you're 20 and you got wife and kids.
Yeah. Oh,
Dang,
wife and
dude.
kid. Wife and kid. He's 4 months. So
Congrats, man. So
I
you are all
appreciate
right then. You already know.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Yeah, when you have a wife and kids and you're just working late nights and you're not seeing them and you miss your 4-month-old grow up,
Yeah.
like it's devastating, and it happens all the time because of the pursuit of money, right? And then you see entrepreneurs, have no faith. They lose their faith because of just the pursuit of money, right? They're like, I don't have time for church, or they become disconnected, or whatever the case is. You also see a lot of entrepreneurs lose their health. They're fat, they're out of shape, they got problems, they got low T, they got all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's because you don't take care of yourself. You don't have low T because of your genetics. That's like a very slim margin of people. It's because you
Yeah.
don't take care of yourself and you're out of shape and you're fat. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yep.
So, the point is, if you're only focused on business and that's the only goal that you're striving for, you will become bankrupt in all the areas of your life outside of business. And honestly, business won't even be fulfilling because you're going to have your wins and you'll be like, dang, dude, but like I have nothing else.
Yeah.
And so the Wealthy Way was built around that because I saw it so many times and people kept saying, hey, Ryan, how do you run all these businesses? But I still see you, working out, having fun golfing, serving at the church. You and your wife are going on date nights. You go on family vacations. Like you're in shape. How do you manage all that?
Yeah.
And I got asked it so many times that I just said, you know what? I'm going to create a blueprint. And so I made this course. And I was thinking as I was making it, and I'm like, man, here comes another business. I'm going to start this kind of like self-development type business. And as I was making it, I was like, you know what? This just needs to be free because people need this. And I don't even need a dime from this. I'm going to make it free. And so I made the course and then I spent 6 figures developing software for a planner that people can use based on the course for tracking their goals, their journaling, morning routine, everything, developing habits, because I just didn't like any of the planners out there. And so I did that. I launched it at the start of the new year. People loved it. I think we had like 30,000 people go through the course pretty fast.
Yeah.
And the feedback was amazing. And, for this last year, I've just been kind of analyzing it, not really like trying to grow it, just like, hey, let's see how the response has been, how people are keeping up with it. We started doing newsletters to help them out. And the thing was, I was like, look, I never want this to be like a paid thing. This is my way of giving back. If I can just help people out, great. Now, ironically, and I knew this would happen too, but when people go through it, they do become aware of you and they buy other stuff from the other businesses.
Yeah,
But
people crap on you for that, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you look up Wealthy Way, it's honestly insane some of the reviews people have. Like you said, the money and time it's taken out of you, the energy it's taken out of you, to build that for it to be free to help other people, and then they have the audacity to write, whatever comments, and it's like, so would you rather them go through your program and not buy anything? Because if they don't buy anything from you, it means that you didn't help them enough with the free value you already gave them. So simply by them going out and pursuing something else, it shows that they got so much value out of your free stuff that they want to know more about you and know more how you can help them. And so that's the thing that's wild to me. And people don't understand that concept of, okay, if he did not provide any value in this, no one would pursue anything else.
Yeah.
And so
that is a good way to put it. Honestly, though, I didn't even look at it that way with like there's always gonna be negative people no matter what you do. So I don't really care about that. But the way I always looked at it was, I'm not afraid to sell people. I buy my stuff all the time. Like literally, I will tell you, buy this, buy a tyke, buy this. Like I'm not afraid to ask people to buy stuff. So when I tell people, like literally, there is no upsell in the Wealthy Way, there is no agenda other than helping you. It's true, and I can say that because it is true. And long story short, now that we've had a year, I know what things can be refined and how we go to the next phase of this. And so, the next phase involves turning the planner and everything else we've built into a mobile app. So you're going to see a mobile app here by the end of the year. Free, of course. You are going to see my book released on December 13th. I've been working on that for a year. And, the feedback from the people that I've had read it so far have just been tremendous. Yeah. And, even with the book, I don't even know what the pricing is going to be for the paperback, but I can tell you the Kindle will be 99 cents. And it's not like I just want it free. Like, they won't let me put it for free.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those like ebook things that get my free ebook and blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, this is a legit book that I paid, once again, a ton of money to develop, with not only my time, but having my writing team help me write it. Like, it's been a lot of money and a lot of time. So I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome, man. And can I ask you like an honest question about that?
Mhm.
So I'm 20, have a growing business, a lot of stress with employees. I've tried to be as involved with the church as I can. Wife and I, but we put all of the dinners and lunches together and coordinate that and who makes what. And so we try to plug in where we can. And I do have a 4-month-old, but right now with just being so young and my business almost in its infancy and not several years of growth and consistency, if you were in my shoes, would you still like only work, say, 9 to 5, no weekends, call it that? Or do you think I'm still at a young enough stage in my life where I probably should be putting the pedal to the metal a little bit more? And
Look,
understanding that.
here's all I can say. And people, it's funny because the wealthy way has become this thing about that with time management and how to be efficient. And I was literally, you were talking about golf with Ryan. I just did one yesterday with a guy in same boat. He's younger. He's making great money. He's trying to grow his business, but he acknowledges, he's like, dude, my wife actually was telling me like, I'm working too much. He's like, but I love work. He's like, was there a point where, and I love work too, so don't get me wrong. This is not a thing where I'm just like, yep, I just don't even like it. If you didn't give me a governor, I would work nonstop. So, they say, he was like, dude, like when you were flipping couches and grinding and doing all that, like, were you working the 60, 70-hour weeks? And I was like, I swear to you, you can ask my wife. I have never been that way. And it was just always how I was wired, in that, you know what? I want to find the fastest, easiest way to make the most amount of money so that I can have time to go do the things I enjoy. Because I always enjoyed the other aspects of life. Money just so happened to be one of those aspects. It was not the core aspect. And I mean, you could just look at my career, my life, to know that that's true. For a guy to make $1,200 a month for 8 years playing minor league baseball, that tells you I don't care about money. I'm willing to go pursue what I want to do because it's important to me, and yes, I figured out how to make money in other ways while I was pursuing that. But because I was limited in my time, because I had to go play baseball 6 months out of the year, I had to go train, I had to go do these things. I had to figure out how to work and make money in very limited amount of time. And so I just thought like, whoa, if I couch flip, I could do this a couple hours a day and make a couple $100. This is tight. And then I figured out how to house flip for very little time and say, well, if I find one deal a month off the MLS, that's pretty easy to manage. Doesn't take too much of my time. And so I found the efficient ways to do things. And like for content, it's become the same thing. People are like, how do you put out so much content? I'm like, well, I find the most efficient way to put out content. I do batch filming. I do it this day. Here's how I do it. I repurpose to the max. I hire this guy, that guy, and then boom. I put out all the content I put out, and I work like 10 hours a week creating all that content. I guess the moral of that story is most people are just inefficient. And that's also part of the wealthy way. It's like at the end of the day, most people are inefficient due to two reasons. One, they lack creativity. They kind of like fit in this box of like, well, this is how other people do it. This is the way it's always been done. Gary Vee tells me I got to have hustle culture. I got to have this. I got to have that. And that's the only way. And I'm like, well, that's great. All these guys, I don't know Gary Vee personally. I'm sure we will have a relationship at one day, but I can promise you, you look at the results and it's not good otherwise. I think he just went through a divorce, like at the end of the day, it just gets you every time. And so, I always looked at it and said, I'm creative enough to make money in different ways. I don't need to do that. Right. But the second thing that entrepreneurs fail to do is delegate. And so I knew that in order for me to hit my goals, I had to delegate. If I wanted to go continue to play baseball, like literally not be in Las Vegas and
Yeah.
still flip houses, I had to hire people. And so I was forced into this delegation of, running businesses. And so I'm grateful that for everything baseball did, because it forced me into who I am today. But to answer the question, the reason I tell my story is that I just have never been that way. And I
Yeah.
think it's because money was never my main goal, right? I've always had other goals that were more important. I always wanted to be somebody that, served my church and went on mission trips and did things. I was always somebody that wanted to be in shape and like take my health seriously, be
Yeah.
great at golf for no reason. Like I just enjoy, sports and
Right.
athletics. And I want to be the best husband, dude. Like literally, it's not, there's no measuring stick, but I want to be the best husband. I'm not
Yeah.
satisfied being just the best business guy or influencer. I want to be the best dad, the best husband, the best golfer. I want to be the best at everything. I am coming for blood to be the best.
Yeah.
And you can't do that if you just neglect all these other things. So anyways, long story short, for you, I would challenge you at 20 years old, man, to see that you've already done this. You're already married with a newborn. That's so cool. I would challenge you to not just measure your success based on how much money your business makes or how many people are in your Discord, but to measure your success in all areas of life and say, a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a husband have I been? Scale of 1 to 10, how great of a dad am I to my newborn? How great is my health? Scale of 1 to 10. Start to
Yeah.
measure yourself in all these things, and you'll start to become a more well-rounded person. And guess what? When business, inevitably, it will not go good, especially in times we're going into, you're going to have bad months and bad quarters and whatever. You're going to have a lot more peace and fulfillment than the other guy whose whole identity is wrapped up in their business. And when things ain't well, their life sucks. It's terrible, So that's my advice.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Especially with having a newborn, because it's so new, it's like first kid. I feel like I put so much focus on that I often don't realize what should be above the parent is giving more time to, my wife and stuff like that, just because it's new, right? It's your first kid, you don't really know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
But you know and as far as a priority list, he shouldn't be above my wife, and I feel like that's one thing that I definitely can get better at.
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you, man. That's why we have the wealthy way.
Yeah, I know. I gotta rip through it. When's the book actually come out? Where can people get it? You said Amazon. Would
Yep,
it be
December
better?
13th. It should be available for pre-order here, probably in like a week or so. And I haven't announced this too much, but I also created a second course called Business Builder Academy. That teaches anybody how to create a business, everything I know about sales, marketing, operations, hiring, delegating, just like anything you can imagine.
Yeah.
I put it all in a course. And I'm giving it to those who leave a review for the book for free. So
Nice.
you can go buy the book for 99 cents and get $1,000 course. So
Yep, I'll leave it in a review.
that's it. That's the game.
Well, sir, before you head out, thank you for your time, man. But we kind of have to address the elephant in the room here. What's next, man?
What's next, dude? I mean, it's really just launching the wealthy way. I'll tell people this all the time. For me anyways, I start working on something new once I've kind of optimized whatever it was I was working on before. And lots of obviously I have to go back into other businesses and re-optimize and do maintenance as time goes on, right? Our house flipping business, things aren't selling the way they were, so I got to go in there, re-optimize, figure out what we're going to do, right? But the team's in place, the system's working, and that's great. So for me, I do one thing at a time, right? So for the last let's say 6 months, I was working on Tykes. I wasn't working on any other businesses. I launched Tykes, super successful. It's still, going through the different things it's going to do. But that then gave me the chance to go launch Content Empire. Right. And so, I spent all my time working on Content Empire, launched it. I am still not out, like I'm still heavily involved into doing things with that launch. And so, probably for the next, I'd say till the end of the year, I'll be really heavy in Content Empire. And then, the book and all that, The Wealthy Way already exists. So it's not like it's a new launch. It's just kind of adding to it. But yeah, as we go into the new year, I honestly don't have any new businesses or plans or anything like that. I'm sure that will change in the next 2 months just because that's how it always goes. But I'm just trying to do what I do even better right now.
Bro, I wasn't talking about the business. I was talking about your hair color, man.
Ah, the hair color. There we go, dude. I thought you might be, man. We will see. We will see. It's funny because I really liked the purple. The purple was probably my favorite, but I'm kind of running out of colors. So
you talk about this modeling, man. If you want to pick up gigs, throw a little PC teal blue in that thing, man.
There we go, baby.
Pick up gigs, man. I'm telling you. And my guarantee is if you don't, then I'll fly out to Vegas and I'll dye it another color myself.
There we go, baby. I love it.
Well, anyways, man, I do appreciate your time. I'm not lying to you when I said both cameras broke this morning. I literally can't believe it. But we made it work. We got you on the podcast. For everyone listening, appreciate you guys listening to the end. If Grant Cardone backs out on you on your podcast next week or whatever, and you need someone like, man, I gotta fill someone in quickly. He's not. I need someone almost as good. Give me a ring. I'll fly out. Take the wife and the kid. Visit the church. Let me know. I'll fill in for Grant. I'll fill in for Grant again. But no, man, I really appreciate your time here.
Cool, bro. I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, no, for sure, man. Appreciate you.
Again, thank you for sticking around and being a champ.
Go. All right, man. I'll see you.
All right. Appreciate it, Ryan.